I don't want to, because I care about this story a little bit more. I don't want to do the whole, oh, I just have to be okay with it because it's good. Like with Godzilla versus Kong, you just have to be okay with it. Some of this stuff, I don't want to be okay with it because I want it to be better. Like, be better.
Interesting.
Be
Okay.
better. So with
All right.
Godzilla versus Kong, I already know it's ridiculous. Whatever, it's fun. Mortal Kombat's kind of the same way. It's ridiculous. It's fun, but make it a little bit better so I can care a little more.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I was just gonna say that I'm having a hard time with these movies because, like Godzilla versus Kong or Fast 9 that's coming out, right? It's like if I tell someone you're gonna go watch Mortal Kombat, I almost have to like tell them also like remember it's a ridiculous movie. Like
Yes.
don't like just remember that you're there
Not-
for
it's
fun.
Not an Oscar nom.
So my opinion of the movie, like let's say, we had our Oscar talk, right? Let's say that we were talking about this movie on a technical level. Like a movie that like if we're like, hey, how was the directing? How was the acting? How was the
Are you asking me?
screenwriting? I'm just saying, like if we went down the list of all the things, I'd have to be like, this is not a good movie.
Yo, the editing in this movie.
Yeah, there's moments where I'm like, what? Because,
Yeah,
but
I chuckled a time or two with some of the editing.
here's my theory on it. So I'll lead with this. I had fun. I had fun with the movie.
Cool.
I did like it. It's hard to watch sometimes because it has those moments where you're like, oh, dang it. And and the more of those moments happen, like the less likely I am gonna.
It pulls you out.
Yeah, but it's like the less likely I'm gonna recommend somebody else watch it, right? Like if it keeps having these moments of like, oh yeah, that wasn't very good. But here's my theory. This movie was never gonna get made, and somebody came along and said, I want to make it. It had a random production company in the front. That I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
those guys must have funded it.
First
right?
time director, too. Very obviously
yeah.
First time.
Very obvious.
Not in a mean way. It's just.
It's just not. It's not a refined
it's obvious.
movie, right?
It's his first.
But
go
I
with
think
it.
somebody came along and said, look, we are willing to back this movie. We don't have a lot of money. Okay, so you can't get a well-known director. You can't get well-known actors. Our CG is not going to be the best. So here are like all the corners that we have to cut in order to get the movie made. But we want to get the movie made. Let's see how it does. Let's see if the fans show up.
It did well.
Yeah, the fans did show up. And when fans show up and you get greenlit for a second one, which they haven't yet, but they're going to.
They will.
Then you get more money. You get a bigger budget. You might bring a famous actor, which, I mean, I believe that Shang Tsung is an actual.
Like a big timer.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. I mean, again, he's in other movies, but I'm like, I don't know if he's big in like overseas or not. He might be bigger in
an East Coast guy.
So I don't know, but I don't think they had the money to make it good.
They did not.
Yeah, and that was probably the foundation from the get-go.
Yeah.
Everybody understood that we're here for the fans. Let's see if they show up.
And you knew from the trailer.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah.
You saw the trailer and you're like, budget issues. Like, to put it nicely, like.
You did.
Yeah. And again, it's not a bad thing. It's just there's no money.
They're right. There's just no
wasn't.
money. Yeah, and they're like, okay, so what are the things that we have to have? And they're like, okay, well, we need to show a dragon for Liu Kang. And they're like, okay, that's gonna take away 1% of our budget. And they're like, yeah, dang, okay.
But we don't have money. So
yeah, so like every time you add a CG element, like
it's costing
and then you get to by the time you get to Goro and you're like, oh shoot, we didn't leave any money in the account for Goro, who we forgot. Right, and that's the kind of thing where It's like, oh yeah, that's obvious.
So are you on board for a second one?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, cool.
100% on board for a second one.
Okay.
Please bring me the big budget version of this movie.
Could you imagine
Like-
if this was a $100 million movie?
It would be awesome.
It would be so crazy.
Yeah.
Did you think it was bloody and graphic?
Yeah, it was. No? You don't think it was bloody and graphic when Kung Lao's hat is spinning and he
That
saws
was-
a woman
but
in half?
I felt like that was
I don't know what
the
her name
only
is.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
the-
maybe I'm cuckoo because I
Yeah.
liked when the guy got murdered in the other topic we
Yeah.
talked about. So I was
there was blood on
expecting.
the shield.
Again, it goes back to like you can't do all that big stuff, but we're also not at the Mortal Kombat
Right.
thing yet. So we're not there yet,
Yeah.
and that's what I had to tell myself.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, I was like, hey, we're not. This is part one.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
not where we're supposed to be yet.
Yeah.
We're also not big. Like there's a lot of things, but I was thinking just like I was gonna see some more like weird stuff, but mostly because I felt like everyone was like that was so. Some guy did a review that trashed the movie because it was just.
Too
He said it was
bloody?
like, he said some big person educated word. He's like extremely graphic, something like beyond being able to watch it.
Oh no.
No,
not
it wasn't that. I mean, it was graphic,
No.
but
yeah.
there was no point I was like, oh, like,
no.
oh my, no. Like, I did that with the game sometimes.
Yeah.
If you ever saw some of the things from the game, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, they just-
absolutely. Like,
haha.
and that's the again. I'm. That's where these movies get hard to review because this movie is not for that guy.
No,
right?
it's
Like
not.
it's not for the average viewer. I'm not gonna
No.
If
You
if-
can't
if someone-
recommend
yeah,
this to.
like I'm like, if someone says, "Should I watch Mortal Kombat?" The first thing I'm gonna ask them is, "Did you play the game?" Like,
yeah,
that's the first. Like, because if you didn't play the game, you're not gonna understand the context.
you're not gonna care.
Like, you're not gonna know why they had to do this
Mhm.
because you have to watch the game to understand that it's
It is. It's
gore and violence
It's a video
by
game
nature.
movie. It's a video game movie.
Yeah, like it. So it's not something I would recommend for everybody.
Mhm.
I still, even though I enjoyed it, I can't rate this movie very high because of all the corners that had to
Yeah.
get cut, which is a bummer. But I'm excited for the future of this franchise. I can't wait for them to
Did you like-
continue.
So the big thing people were talking about was Cole's character. Did you have a problem with him?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I have no idea.
What is the tattoo like? Like
I don't
you
know.
get it now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Cole, like as a character, was cool. We didn't need him.
We don't need
Well,
him.
I guess we did because his like is that
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I
so
know, yeah.
technically you
No.
did, but like here you can have my tattoo. I don't. You just kill me. And you,
So
what?
So I hate when people do this, but I'm gonna do this. So the better version of this movie, I'm gonna tell you how they should have done it. I feel like the grounded version of it, like let's say we take like a formula from Marvel, and we say, okay, well, how would you do this if you were trying to make it a good movie? It's like, well, you probably wouldn't bring in all these characters, right? Because it's really busy, a lot going on. You don't get so you're not invested in anybody.
Yeah.
You try to get invested in Cole, and you don't even spend a lot of time with him, so you don't really care if he dies or not. But I'm like, man, the person that I cared about the most was Scorpion.
And he wasn't in it at
and
all.
he wasn't in it at all. But the movie opens with him and his
How
family, and
good
you're
was
like,
that opening. And
I'm
why
like-
did they put it online?
I know, the first 7 minutes, you put
You
the best part of your
stupid
movie online.
Idiots.
But if they had stayed in that world, like if they had a whole movie, an hour and a half movie of the fight between Scorpion and SubZero back in that day, and that's all it was an hour and a
It was
half
so good.
of that rivalry
Mhm.
that led you to both of them becoming Scorpion and Sub. Like you don't even
Yeah.
call it Mortal Kombat necessarily. You can call it you can, but you can
You call it
somehow-
Scorpion. v
yeah, you know,
Sub-Zero.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and at the end of the movie, they are Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and that leads you
Yeah.
down to another thing. But they could have done an hour and a half of just those two characters and made you care about them and put you in a situation where some people are Team Scorpion, some people are Team Sub-Zero. I don't know why. I assume you're Scorpion and I'm Sub-Zero. I feel like I'm Scorpion and you're Sub-Zero.
No, see, well, if you had to pick a side, which side are you picking?
I mean, I'm for sure Well, they don't tell us why Sub-Zero is
Why he went to?
doing any of those
Well,
things, right?
because it was something for the tournament because they were cheating essentially.
No, that's why he's doing like why did Sub-Zero even then was trying to kill the bloodline because they knew that it was good for the tournament.
That's what I thought.
And so they knew that. So, but they don't say that. Like they don't.
Well, yeah,
like,
they don't. I was just
because
what I
Shang
thought.
Tsung is not in the. Shang Tsung says that later.
Yeah.
And so I guess we can take an educational
yeah,
guess and be
yeah.
like, oh well, he's doing that because these tournaments have been going on forever. Yeah. So yeah, you could probably do that, but I wish they would have just left us in that world. And
Budget issues.
but you could have kept it low. You could have kept it John Wick budget.
Yeah.
And you could have done that.
Yeah.
You could have made us care about.
Oh yeah, instead of
that
flip-flopping worlds.
Yeah, like you could have kept us in whatever world Scorpion and Sub-Zero were in, fighting each other, and then again had us take these sides in a way that they're both right? They're each other's villains.
You flip-flop.
They're each other's villains, but they're somebody else's hero. Both of them.
Sub-Zero was definitely the bad guy though.
I know that's
But
he's
he's
so.
like,
So then you're not rooting for him at all, except
no,
to
you
die.
like want him to die.
Yeah, and that's not.
Which he didn't.
He did not. No, he does not die. Shang Tsung takes him and says, like, death
Like, we'll be back, yeah.
death is only like it's just like an inconvenience.
So then,
but we'll be
the
back.
ending. Big guy coming up.
Oh, Jay Cage.
Who's gonna play him?
I know.
Who do you want to play him?
But again,
because I do have one name, and it makes zero sense. It would never happen. This is just based off his character in the game.
oh my gosh.
But no, it would. This casting choice. I would never actually speak it out loud because people are like, "Are you an idiot?"
Wow. What?
Oh, I'm going to, but
Yeah.
it's based off when you would play him in the game and how he was interacting in the game, and I was like, that to me seems like this actor.
So the smartest thing this movie could have done was not shown us the face, right? Because he's not cast, right?
You
so
don't know yet.
you don't know who he is. Because when the money comes, you give the money
get a big guy.
to a Johnny
But
Cage.
Is there somebody that you would think could play that part?
I don't know. I don't have anything in
Well,
my brain. Who are you thinking?
Mine's ridiculous. But again, it's based off the way Johnny Cage acts in the game, like a smart ass.
Yeah. You want Ryan Reynolds?
Yes!
Oh my god.
How did you know?
Oh no.
How did you
I
know?
don't know. You said smart ass. And
Yeah. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
know. Dude.
I'm
telling you.
Ryan Reynolds.
This whole time.
But it's just strictly based. What did I do here? It's just strictly based off the game.
Oh my god.
Because the way he's a smart ass little bitch in the game.
Yeah.
And that's how Ryan Reynolds acts.
As Deadpool, at least.
Yeah,
right?
that's like okay.
He could do
the
that.
character
Yeah.
of Deadpool. He's just a smart aleck little punk.
Yeah. Like
And-
everybody wants to slap him.
Yeah, you're just like, dude, you're crazy.
Like the things you say make me want to punch you in the face.
Yeah, exactly. So when the Johnny Cage thing came up, I was like, damn, who would play Johnny Cage? Like,
And then you realize
it's got to be someone like that, like can have like his attitude and like a cool guy, like handsome dude, like the way Johnny Cage acts, like whatever.
You're like Ryan Reynolds.
And I was like, Ryan Reynolds is like acts that same way. That's so I can't believe you guessed it.
I think it was like my first guess too.
Really, and that's the crazy thing. But like, could you imagine Ryan Reynolds in like a Mortal Kombat movie? Like,
yeah, I mean,
would it? But again,
it could.
Johnny Cage compared to the other characters doesn't fit either.
Yeah, true.
So he's like fighting like martial art, and
He's
Johnny
like,
Cage
what
is
in
like,
the
hey,
world?
like let's get it going. Like, I don't know why he's Italian, but you could. He didn't fit in with the other characters.
Right.
He was
Right.
he was a movie star, and when you think of cool hot guy movie stars, you think of Ryan Reynolds or
yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I understand the take. I get that the attitude, and he brings it. And that's the character.
That's
I get
who
it.
I thought of again from the game. Would he fit into this? Like
He's
Ryan Reynolds
he
wouldn't
is-
make sense in this
He's
world.
he's elite, man. I don't think we're getting anyone like
I really messed up this microphone.
I don't think that we're gonna get anyone at that
That's
level.
yeah.
I don't
But
think they're
again,
gonna
it would-
dish
it
out
would-
10 million for any
For an
actor.
actor, yeah. But it would be just weird to see him in that world.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see. Like I said, it's gonna come with some. Part 2 is gonna come with some money. I'm not saying Johnny Cage is gonna be a no name, but it might be someone that we recognize. But they need it. They need
a big guy. They need a good guy.
Somebody to come and help them out.
They need
here.
a poster boy, I want to say.
Yeah. They need someone to. And again, I mean, on a movie level, the things that I'm bummed that Kung Lao dies.
Yeah, man.
I know. I don't know why they did that. I don't like the Cole character. They should have picked a character in the game and told us their story.
And that's the annoying thing is how many characters in the game? 5,000.
Yeah, you couldn't pick one.
I mean,
Pick one.
yeah.
How many humans?
This game that we've had
how many
since
humans do you have in the game?
30 years ago, whenever
Yeah.
it was, what, 80 some?
Yeah.
Whenever it first started.
Luke Kang tells his story in the movie, and I'm like, you should have showed us that story.
Yeah, that's so
Showed
cool.
me that story, and that movie would have been better.
Hmm?
And I would have. Then
But
we'll
why-
follow
but why
you.
why the guy that has no connection? Do you think?
When I was originally thinking about it, it was kind of going back to like our Falcon and Winter Soldier
Like
conversation,
somebody
which
like
is
a humanized person?
like,
And maybe
it
it would
still
have been
can't
okay.
it still can't be that because he was born with a gift, and so it's still
his
like
blood.
Mortal Kombat is weird because like I don't think little kids are trying to be someone in Mortal Kombat. Maybe they are. That's a parenting problem probably, but
Yeah, that would be tough. but-
yeah, I don't think you should want to be Kung Lao, but it was a like here's a character that we can relate to was what I was originally
I guess that
thinking.
makes sense. And it probably would have been okay if
Yeah.
they did it a little differently.
Probably, but
It
I
might have
don't
been
think
okay.
that we needed an outside character to get us to Mortal Kombat because the movie starts us with two again. I mean, at that time it's
Yeah.
just SubZero who's supernatural, but it starts us off with somebody who's already gifted
Yeah.
or super or whatever you want to call him, a mutant, whatever, and
And-
and we could have just stayed there. Like we could have just stuck with
yeah.
a character who already had their powers and led us to Mortal Kombat because they didn't have to explain anything about Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and I love the first 7 minutes of this movie.
It was the best part of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. And so I think Cole was a mistake. And it's a bummer because it's a mistake that they're going to have to live with in the other
or
movies.
Maybe they're able to fix it in some way. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
maybe you kill him.
Maybe you do.
Yeah.
You know, people
maybe
die.
you kill him.
Like you.
It's Mortal Kombat.
the old
Maybe
choppity
you
chop.
kill him. Yeah. And then
And that's kind of the cool thing is you have that ability to pretty much kill
yeah.
anybody you want.
Everybody can die in this movie.
Yeah.
And then you solve all your problems that way.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
But it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It was
I'm
fun.
gonna give it another watch tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell me if the second time around, I won't watch it until the next one comes out, and then I'll watch it before. But this movie, as a movie, not good. Is
Yeah.
it fun? It's a blast. But I do think you need to be a fan of the franchise to appreciate what you're watching. Otherwise, I think you are going to think it like what they're doing is useless. Super corny. You know, Kano wins.
Kano wins.
Oh my
you
God.
fucking beauty.
Oh man, but Kano made me laugh.
He was a chatty guy. I'm
Yeah.
surprised we haven't brought him up. He
I
was
know.
very chatty.
Kano actually was a. So I mean, there was times where I was like, man, he's talking too much.
I was kind of glad when he got stabbed in the face.
I think that's the point, though. They wanted you to
Jesus.
hate him, and he died. And I said, okay, good job, writers, because you made me laugh. This guy made me laugh, and then I hated him, and then he died. And I feel like it's a nice progression.
I feel like that's how Mortal Kombat has
That
to
is
go.
how it's supposed to go.
But I
and you
do
did a
want
good
people
job.
to know that are interested. We're not at the tournament yet. We're
No,
not
this is
there
the
where we need to be.
beginning.
And I
That's what
did
mean,
like that.
man.
I
You
did
coulda-
like that.
Yeah, I like that we didn't get there right
If you're
away.
like, hey, we're gonna do 3 movies or whatever, can
Right.
you do 3 movies of a tournament?
Nah,
Nah, probably
yeah,
not.
Yeah, yeah.
But you could do whatever this was. It's fine.
Yeah.
do a tournament, do a third movie that's like half a tournament and then half of like something else, and then
Right,
be done
yeah.
with it.
I'm glad that they're taking it slow. I just wish they would have went a little bit slower. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, we'll see.
you know,
We'll
and
see what
then
happens
like
down the road.
Kung Lao, because there's like just a lot of cheesy stuff in this. Kung Lao says flawless victory. You know, I think somebody says fatality. I think Liu Kang
Or
says
when they
fatality.
say when Scorpion says "Get over here," that was I did like that.
That
but
was
that's
a good
another-
one because
that's
I'm like he does want him over there.
Yeah, that's
so
what
he
he
does
did
need
say
him to
when he
come
wanted
over
him.
there. So I
Yeah.
feel like
But
that
to
line was
say,
warranted.
Fatality is.
Like nobody says that in a
Can you imagine a
in a
street
conversation.
like at a street fight?
Yeah, and some
It's
guy
like-
just
it's
whips
like,
out
"Oh,
fatality.
do fatality, like no, it doesn't
No,
work.
man, don't
Yeah.
say it.
Nah.
If maybe like someone on the sideline can be like, "Dang, that was a fatality," but don't be the guy that
Don't be the announcer
yeah,
from the
like,
game in
come
the middle
on.
of a situation.
Yeah, but
How good is the game though? We don't have time to get into that.
the thing is, if you play the game, you appreciate that, or you understand why they're
Yeah.
saying that. You understand what's happening,
Yeah.
and that makes you
You
smile,
have
and then
to
you're like,
be-
"Okay, cool, they did it. Let's move on."
You have to be a player of the game
I think to enjoy this movie,
because
yes.
that's what it is.
It's not a
That's
good
what it
movie
is.
on its own. You got to be a fan,
It's a
and
fan,
then you can go
yeah.
watch it. And yes, there's fight scenes and blood and gore, and it's crazy, and I love it. And the opening of this movie is phenomenal, and I don't know why the Cole character is there, but
Yeah,
man, this movie was fun for me, and I hope they make a second one. And
they will.
Ryan Reynolds plays Johnny Cage.
Good lord, maybe we'll see.